25th of September to be shown at 8:30. Ex-RSPCA behavioural trainer, the first ever employed in Australia for this position. Prior to that, there was just basically kennel attendants and basic dog trainers and things in the world, not understanding animal behaviour and modifying and educating the public enough. I also assisted the RSPCA in the creation of the first behavioural assessments, which was one of the tools used to fail Max and lead to his euthanasia. To the best of my knowledge, this is an elderly dog who'd previously been living comfortably, happily in homes and things. He had a minor issue or major as it seemed, of escaping. However, he hadn't been given the opportunity to be shown what to do instead of escaping, given another diversion or distraction, as the RSPCA knows how to teach them this, as I wrote them those rules. Basically, in developing this assessment program, it's not being utilised correctly anymore. It's always, as they mention, ongoing and developing and this, that and the other. However, why don't they use people in the community, ask every trainer, every rescue group, how do you fix your dogs? And get people to make a collective group by giving money. By giving money to the RSPCA under the assumption that they are doing everything within their power to utilise community resources to save animals, to develop these procedures and these secret assessments or whatever they are now that no one can find or get access to, and any policies or procedures that they make up or have, the general public or even people volunteering or within their own organisation can't obtain these sometimes. So if you've got policies there that help people rehabilitate, foster, help save animals, and you're not making these available to the public, and there's no outside governing body to correct this, and you're excluding rescue groups within your community, you're not utilising the assessments correctly that's determining what animals are dying. Some of the things that you can die for in these assessments, if a dog lunges at a bunny rabbit, if it's a husky or a working dog, that's not even taken into consideration. There's not enough time or things taken into looking at what type of dog, what the situation it may have previously been in, the assessment differences from day 1 to day 3 to day 5 to day 7. Day 1, you can't even do a real assessment. Day 3, the assessment's only your baseline, and it's not even a real one until they settle down and do things. And you put in place measures to rehabilitate these animals. So by not doing any of that, and I know you don't because I work with volunteers and I work with staff members and things like this, and you may do this in 1 or 2 of your shelters. However, if it's not done across the board, across Australia, it's not good enough. There's so many great people who work within these organisations, and another point that kept getting brought up on the night by the RSPCA was that no staff member goes to work ever wanting to kill animals, and you know that they're great people. They are great people. I was one of you. I've got many friends who are great RSPCA people, staff and volunteers and managers and things. No one's ever said anyone loves going to work killing them. What we're saying is, you are killing them. Management is making these decisions and these policies, and the people in the front line are the ones you're putting there. And then, yes, you're protecting them by saying, oh, they're not going to work and trying to kill anything or all of this. The reality is, RSPCA, by not using all of this stuff, not taking in other people's things, being your own boss, and having no one for the last 20 to 40, 60 years to control this organisation or this industry. Not that they're doing things wrong, I'm saying that maybe they didn't know these things were there. Well, I did, because we've had meetings, we've had things, and their answer to these meetings are, oh, they never call us back. Well, grow up. It's your job. That's a part of the responsibility. If people show interest to help save animals, your animals, our animals, then let them. If they don't show interest in helping you, but you know they do it, ask them, invite them, learn from them, take information from others. Obviously, the councils have a very similar situation in lots of areas. I'm aware of many places where the actual actual legal kill times of 8 days, the first day not being holding, and 15 days if they're microchipped, not being utilised. And they've tried to complain, people complaining about dogs not being microchipped, advertised on newspapers, internet sites, I've seen many, animals being sold underage and all of this sort of stuff, which is the Council and RSPCA or Animal Welfare League's responsibility to utilise their resources to correct these. Now, I think there may be also a major problem in the judicial system in regards to actual fining of people and the punishments that are dished out for those who breach these laws and procedures and policies. And if the judicial system's not going to back them up or not going to get looked at, maybe once again the Animal Ombudsman is going to be able to give, I'm not saying remove all of the power from the RSPCA or the welfare leagues or any of this. I'm saying let's make them accountable and have somebody, if there's complaints that we can complain to, who's got more power to make a change. If there is exclusions or failure to use new things that can save lives, have somebody force them to use it. And if they don't want to do it, fire them. It's not the people at the front lines who are the ones killing them, who are breaking down and all of this. And by the way, those staff that you are defending and all of this sort of stuff, even the people who are in there holding, you get a euthanasia person, a lethalist it's called, and a holder. They get $10 a day for lethalising animals extra. The average animal attendant rate is probably a bit less than $19 an hour, and that's increased from probably around 14 to 15 5 or 6 years ago. No more increase or bonuses or anything for anyone in the RSPCA apart from management level, to the best of my knowledge, from working with volunteers and staff. So earning $19 an hour, $10 extra a day for some days, killing 50 dogs, 30 kittens, 5 guinea pigs, who can be rehomed through other resources. The issue is of council contracts, and the argument is, oh, we're so busy and all of this. Please have a look at some of the please have a look at some of the other people's opinions and evidence in relation to some of the reasons why the RSPCA in the Hunter Valley is so busy. And I'm referring to the council taking over of another shelter, another region, Cessnock Valley. When I helped design and build that shelter and the region, it was never ever intended to be holding 4 councils, and the RSPCA as an organisation was never intended itself to be acting like a council abattoir. That's a really harsh thing to say, and that was one of the harshest things I ever had told against me. And basically the other thing that from rescue groups and stuff, which I found very hard to fight or argue, was the fact that they were saying I was working for a catch for cash to kill program. So catching the dogs, getting the cash and killing them. That's very, very harsh, and I really hesitate and don't like when people say these sorts of things. However, they say them because they believe them. I don't believe they're saying them because they're trying to just hurt people. In their opinions, they do see it as a council abattoir because they take the animals. They don't really attempt in a lot of the other councils or RSPCAs to do the best they can. As I've mentioned just before, some of them kill these animals within 3 days of holding them, or 2 days. And I'm going to get some YouTube statements and things like this from people all over the country, so you're aware of other resources. So let's help the animal community by keeping this ball rolling, and I'll talk to you some more about the other topics and things in the show very soon. Take care.